Okay, we're going to do number 5 on the test. And so this asks us to solve x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0 by graphing. And so basically what this is saying is what value or values of x are going to make y 0. And so, of course, that's going to be on the x-axis somewhere, because that's the place where y is always 0. So what value of x, so we're trying to find the point or points on the x-axis, and then once we do that, we know then what values of x will make y 0. And so, first of all, we know that this opens up because the leading coefficient is positive. The axis of symmetry is x equals negative, and then b is a negative 5, and then 2a, so it's 2 times 1. And so what we do is we look at this, we go, we're subtracting a negative, so we know that the result is going to be positive, so leave out the negative signs, and we end up with 5 over 2. Now at that point you can call it 5 over 2, or you can call it 2.5, however you want to look at it. We'll go ahead and look at it as 2.5, or 2.5. So we are going to draw the axis of symmetry at 2.5. And we know that the vertex has to have an x value of 2.5 or 2.5. And so we substitute that in. So we have x squared minus 5x plus 6. And so we have 2.5 inside here and 2.5 inside here, which I blew that one. And so if we use our calculator then, we know that then 2.5 squared then is 6.25. And then 5 times 2.5 is 12.5. And then add 6. And then again, if you continue using your calculator if you need to, you'll find out that this ends up equaling 1/4, negative 1/4, or negative 0.25. Okay, so we know that the vertex is somewhere here close to the x-axis. And so, once again, what we're going to do is we're going to take the vertex is at 2.5, so the 2 points that we're going to plot, the first one, we can make x equal to 2. That's the next whole number towards 0. Now, after that, we could then go to 1, but just for kicks, we'll probably go to 0 because we see that if x is 0, that y would have to be 6, so, and that's not too far up there. So we'll probably use a 0, and that'll make it easier to plot. So if x is 2, then we have 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 6. And so that's 4 minus 10 plus 6. Again, work from left to right. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. And so when 2 is x, y is 0. So we know that we already have one solution to this equation because we have a point that's on the x-axis. So if you put 2 in here for x, then it makes y equals 0. So that's a solution, makes this equation true. Actually, at this point, we could almost stop because when we reflect that point, we take the 2, which is a half to the side of the vertex, or the axis of symmetry. We go on the other half to the other side, and you'll end up at 3. So we know that 3, 0 is going to be the other solution where x is 3. Now, if we just finish this out, we go 0 and 6 as we discussed before, just so that we can graph this. So we graph this here, and we see that 3, 0, so x is equal to 2 or 3. Because if we take 3, substitute in here, so it's going to be 3 squared, which is 9, minus 15, which is negative 6, and then add 6, we're going to get 0. So 3 also makes this true. So your solution is 2 or 3, and we see that on the graph.